Good morning. I feel like having some iced coffee this morning, and that's what I'm going to do. So, I've got a recipe here. It's a variation on James Hoffmann's iced filter coffee recipe. It's on Reddit. It was posted 3 years ago, and unfortunately, the person that posted it, the user's been deleted. I don't know whether it's a very well written, delightful looking recipe. I've done the James Hoffmann method for iced filtered coffee before, and I was just looking for it again to refresh my memory on all of how everything goes, and I found this one, and this is really great. It does use a Baritza Virtuoso, which I do not have. I have an Encore, but I would assume that the settings are similar. They have their grinder set to, what was it, between 20? Yeah, it was between 16 and 20, I think it was. So a little bit finer than normal filter coffee, or a little bit finer than what they use for Hario, actually, the V60. So I'm going to grind it down, and it is for 500 milliliters at a time. So he's using, I keep saying he, and I shouldn't be, because it could be anyone. The person that I'm referencing here uses 35 grams of coffee. So we're going to do that with the Colombia El Puente that was roasted right here in Ohio in Heath, roasted and packaged. And then a short description of the mill here, where everything is picked, washed, delivered from, all right here. And as you can see, here are the tasting notes. Some of them seem like layups. Others seem like they're shooting full court. So we'll see, I guess. So let's start with the coffee here. 35 grams of coffee in, and I'll be looking back at the recipe to remind myself, because it's an interesting number of ice versus hot water. So 35 grams going, 30, very nice. Oop, no, I messed it, because I'm too busy. 36.6 grams. Beauty. Again, I have my grinder set at about a 17, little pips here, I think 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, so I guess at a 16. Really, I guess you can put it at a 17 in between the two. Yeah, all right. I'm gonna go down to a 16. I don't know if the steps are the same between the Encore and the Virtuoso. I do know how this grinder works though, and that is fairly fine, much finer than normal filter coffee would be. That last bean was just not having it. It was not being sacrificed today for my cup of coffee. So that's what 36 grams of coffee out looks like. 35 probably by now. A little chaff in there. I had tried wetting the beans, but with this particular grinder, it seems to get a little stuck down in there when everything's wet. This seemed to have done very well this time though. All right, so there is a math to all of this. I don't do math very well, but I'll read it out here for you just so, and you can kind of see here as well. So Hoffmann's suggestion recommends 60 grams of coffee per 1 liter of water. But for iced coffee, he bumps this up to 65 grams per 1 liter of water. This person goes slightly higher, 70 grams per 1 liter. Since they were brewing 500 milliliters at the time, they're going to use 35 grams. This helps me because I have a gram scale. I can measure everything out in grams. I can also go back and do calculations using Google, but that takes extra time, and I want my coffee as soon as possible, please. Thank you. So let's see. And I just did something really stupid because I need to measure out my ice, and then I need to put it down in here, and I probably shouldn't have done that. But we'll figure it out. So we're heating the water up to boiling. What do we got here? They say they're doing their V60 brew. 170 grams of ice in the pitcher. And then we're going to do 330 grams of water in here. So basically it's going to be a 500 grams. So, and you know, 500 milliliters, 500 grams, same thing. It's just easier for me to, I'm a visualization person. Numbers in my head jump around a lot. I use a calculator, and I use Google. So, so we want 170 grams of ice that we're gonna put in here. So I'm gonna measure that out. Ooh, no water, please. I prefer you not have too much water. I guess I'll let the ice sit a little too long. That's okay, so that's 14. Okay, so that's 156. I'll get a couple more cubes here. We'll skip that one. I'll get it here in a second. So 155. Ooh, 170-ish. Nah. 168, perfect. All right, so I'm gonna take this, hold it. I'm gonna pour this in here. Perfect, all right. And I've got this here. And we're gonna do, they suggest, so we are at 170, so I need to take this up to 330 grams, which we can do very easily, thanks to the scale. And then we'll use the timer as well. It says here, the person that posted this said here that my kettle's boiling and I need to turn it off. Well, that's really weird that they included that in the recipe here. It's funny, their freezer runs a bit cold, so the ice is gonna be colder. Is that, it's interesting. So water heated, ice in the pitcher, start to brew. So the long bloom, we're gonna do about a minute of blooming using a 2 to 1 water to coffee ratio to start. So the goal is 330, and we will get there. So let's get our bloom on here. Let's put in about 100 grams of water. I was a little over. All right, we'll start that. So we're gonna let this bloom for a minute, and then we're gonna pour in the rest, and then we're gonna shoot for about a 3-minute brew, which is what it says here in the instructions. It's unfortunate. I'll find this on Reddit and I will post it in the description below. I just typed in, because I was looking for, hey, you know, I want the recipe again so I can do an ice filtered coffee this morning. And you know, I couldn't quite remember the ratio. So I looked it up, and, you know, here's a nice Reddit description. I looked up James Hoffmann brewing method, pour over coffee. So ice filtered coffee, I guess it was what it was. So, and then I found this on Reddit, and it's 3 years old. And unfortunately the user is deleted. So that is honestly too bad. All right. So let's do some nice even pouring here. Keep the bed agitated. Make sure everything's getting swirled in and out. I'm gonna go for 330, so a little bit more. Ah, look at that. Ooh, money, money, money. Coffee, coffee, coffee. Nice. Finger guns. All right, so now we let her brew. We'll go for the three minutes here. We'll see how the drawdown is. I'm gonna take this off of here, nice and carefully. Swirl her around just a little bit. There we go. Nice, so this will do 500 milliliters or 500 grams of filtered coffee, iced filtered coffee in the bottom. So, oh, what a weekend. As in, what weekend? Really, what? I mean, I don't know. I guess in this part of my life, days seem to go by fast, and I measure the time when everybody's at work, you know? It's kind of how I measure the time. This is gonna draw down a lot faster than 3 minutes. I mean, we're already at 2:30 here. I wonder if I went too coarse. Maybe I should have, just seems like Should have taken a little bit longer than that. Might be just that big of a jump in between the burr settings, between an Encore and a Virtuoso. Oh well, we're learning. That's what we do. We like to learn, figure things out, see how we can make it better, see how we can make it different. But I'm going to go the 3 minutes. This is going to say 3 minutes before I remove this filter, and that's just the way it is. Okay, and I'm done. The ice is melting very nicely. I'm very happy with that. There we go. Into the sink, please. There you go. All right. Very cool, very chilled. Give this a swirl to get everything all nice and melted. All right. Thank you, Mr. Scale. Now let's see, is there a part where he says enjoy? Yes! I think I can handle that part. Ah, thank you. It smells good brewed either way. Definitely a little bit stronger smell. For whatever reason, when it's cold brewed. Oh, goodness. So nice and sweet. Wow. That must be the sugarcane hit. And amazing how sweet. Just the taste. It's just the sweetness is just so pronounced in a cold coffee like this. Do I get any apricot? There's a lot of factors that would probably cause me to not get the taste of apricot. So I'm going to say I don't taste it. But there is a nice chocolate soothing finish, and it is definitely very sweet. This is the best way. To me, this is the best way to brew up this coffee. Boy, does that taste really nice as a cold filtered coffee. It's not brewed, it's filtered. Brewing is a little different. That's my understanding. I mean, I think for a brew, and somebody described it to me. You put water into a vessel, generally a French press, and then you let it sit for an extended period of time, either a couple hours or through the night. You prepare it in the evening, and then you wake up the next morning, and then it's cold. It's basically brewed like a tea. Push the French press stopper down, and then you've got coffee. And I tried that once, and it's not terrible, but it is incredibly bitter. I did it again, but this time I boiled the water, because it's just cold filtered water in coffee is what is the description that I was given. But the second time I did it with hot boiling water in the vessel on the coffee. With a specific ratio that I would have to look up because I do not remember. I do not remember it specifically. I mean, that's why we have the internet, so we can look these things up. That's, this is life. This is not cheating. This is life. This is how you function. This is how you figure things out. And no one should feel bad for doing that. I did it that way. It was far less bitter. I didn't add any ice. I just let it naturally cool down in the refrigerator overnight, and it tasted a lot less bitter. There was a lot more flavor from the coffee. I don't not recommend doing that, but I would say if you're going to do that, put in just the extra effort with boiled water rather than just cold or even just tap water from the tap or, cold filter water from your refrigerator. Give it a boil and then do it. Just that extra step. And I know that is an extra step, and sometimes we don't want extra steps, and that's fine. I'm just telling you what I did to make it better for me. And if you feel like following suit, you totally should. Because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I am thoroughly enjoying this. Thank you, One Line Coffee. This is on High Street in Short North, close to Big Fun. across the street. I don't have the exact address. Well, wait, maybe it's here. Is there an address? Well, here's their website, onelinecoffee.com. They're also on Twitter. And you should definitely, if you are in Columbus or the downtown area, stop by there. There's a lot of nice places to eat. Plus, you can go to Big Fun and look at toys. But also, go to One Line Coffee. Pick some of this up. It's just delicious. Hot or cold. Thank you so much for watching this morning. I really appreciate it. We'll do some more coffee tomorrow. Maybe I'll do maybe I'll boil up some water tonight and we'll put it in the French press and we'll press it tomorrow morning and we'll see how that tastes. I'll make sure it's the better coffee that I have, the new Smyrna coffee that I got while we were on vacation. And I'll talk about vacation again. I'll tell you once again how wonderful it was and how much I want to go back to that beach town because that beach town is gorgeous and I loved almost every minute of it. So there's always a little bit of nervousness when you're driving around a town you really don't know, and I hate parallel parking, even though I think I did a pretty good job. If I don't have to do it, I'm not going to do it. Even if I see a parking space and I got to go 2 blocks down to get to a parking lot, I'm not bothering with parallel parking because I don't have to, because I got a pair of legs that work and I can walk a couple of extra yards to where I need to go if I can find an optimal parking space. That's adulting. Or the choice is you don't do that and you fiddle with the parallel parking spot for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. So that's adulting. You can choose between the two. So I'm very happy with this. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I'm very excited to drink it. And then I will do some more dusting videos this morning. Check those out. Some of those have exploded. Some of them haven't, but that's fine. I guess that's just how the algorithm goes. Some of them have really exploded, though, with people that are viewing it. And I really appreciate everybody that's watching. I really do. I really thank you. It's nice to wake up and then see, oh, look, someone new is subscribed. And, you know, I'm so grateful. And sometimes YouTube doesn't tell you who it is. I don't know if they're just hidden. I don't know how that works. I don't know how any of it works, really. I'm just, I'm just happy to be a part of the algorithm. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.